Justice, do you need a pen?
No,
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, can you guys hear us okay? Bill?
Yes.
Okay. I would like to call the annual meeting of the Franklin County Industrial Development Agency meeting to order and ask Maria to do roll call.
Okay, Sherry Boye,
Yes.
James Ellis,
Here.
Archie McKee,
Here.
Melissa Mills,
Here.
Nate Manette is absent, Clyde Rabideau,
Here.
Nick Russell.
Here.
Okay, also present, Jeremy Evans, Maria Bourgeois, Paul Ellis, Kelly Brunette, Rachel Child, and Justice Martin.
Before I get to calling for nominations for the elections of officers, I think I should just take a moment to give everyone a chance to introduce themselves, since we've got some changes for this coming year, which I think we're all very excited about. So first of all, I will welcome to my left, Clyde Rabideau. Welcome, Clyde. And then we've got a new board member, Nick Russell, who's on the phone. Welcome, Nick. You can hear us all right.
Yes, I can. Thank you.
And also Melissa Mills, who is in Malone today. So those are our three new board members, and we welcome all of you to this team. We're really excited to have you. And just so we all know who each other are, Sherry Boye is on the screen. Everybody can see Sherry. And Sherry and Jim are our longest serving. I'm not sure who's been up with the IDA longer, but you guys have both been true veterans. And we've got Archie McKee, who's a board member, and I think that's all we have for board members today. And then everyone knows me at this point. Across from me is Kelly Brunette, our marketing and communications manager. Paul Ellis, our CFO. Everybody knows Paul, right? Raise your hand, Paul. And Maria Bourgeois, our operations manager, and Rachel Child, our community development manager. And we should all and welcome Justice, former IDA board member and county legislator. So we're glad to have you here as well. So with that, I will offer up a slate of nominations for officers for the IDA. And after I do so, there could be any other nominations made by any member of the board. For chair of the IDA, Jim Ellis. For vice chair, Sherry Boye. And for treasurer, Archie McKee. We also need nominations for secretary and assistant secretary. Would anyone like to make a motion for that slate of candidates and any other motions for candidates for IDA?
I'll make the motion that we approve the candidates offered.
Is there a second?
Who can second it?
You can second it.
I'll second.
Melissa seconds.
Any discussion? Maria, can you do a roll call?
Okay, but are you gonna have a secretary?
Let's just do these since they're already a slate, and then we'll go back to secretary and assistant.
Okay, Sherry Boye,
Yes.
James Ellis,
Yes.
Archie McKee,
Yes.
Melissa Mills,
Yes.
Nate Manette is absent, Clyde Rabideau,
Yes.
Nick Russell.
Yes.
Any nominations? Self nominations are allowed for secretary and assistant secretary. Don't clamor over each other.
This is Nick. I'll volunteer for the secretary role.
Any nominations for assistant secretary?
I'll do
And let me just talk to everyone.
Melissa offered.
Okay.
Melissa offered.
Okay. Any other nominations?
I move the nominations
Nick
be closed.
for secretary, Melissa for assistant secretary. Okay, so can I have a motion for those two?
Archie already moved it.
Archie already, oh, sorry. Archie moved it. Second,
I'll second.
Sherry. Roll call.
Okay, Sherry Boye,
Yes.
James Ellis,
Yes.
Archie McKee,
Yes,
Melissa Mills, Nate Manette is absent, Clyde Rabideau,
Yes.
Nick Russell,
Yes.
duly adopted.
Congratulations and thank you in advance on behalf of the staff to all of you who are going to serve as officers. I will turn the tone over to Jim to discuss committees, and then we will adjourn and then get into the regular meeting.
We thank you, everybody. Appreciate your support. And I'm sure Sherry and Archie also welcome aboard Nick and Melissa to the officers' ranks. You'll realize that we're kind of thin in terms of numbers, but that's okay. We do a lot of work, and for that, I'm glad that we have our new members aboard, relying on their previous experience and previous work. It's good to know that we have such a talent, such a group of talent in Franklin County. So, having said that, there are, just for the benefit of everybody and our newest members, there are two committees that are governed by state law, and everybody in our end of the world, the not-for-profits, have to have a governance committee and a finance committee, audit and finance, excuse me. So I'd like to appoint to the governance committee chairmanship Nate Manette, and to the finance audit and finance committee chairman Archie McKee. There are no other appointments to make at this time. However, I think if the new members especially will go down and look under number 5, committee reports, you'll see the standing committees that we have. If there's any standing committee there that sort of appeals to you and to your interest, please let me know before the next the next monthly meeting, and I can make up a slate of people who will serve on these committees. We try to have no more than 3 because, again, state law requires that if we have a quorum of 4, we have to notice the meeting, and we also have to advertise it as a general meeting. So if you're going to do anything in terms of as a committee chair, you want to talk to your committees, no more than 3 people can be on the call, and we can set that up with through Maria as far as the conference call number and other questions you may have. So if you would please, again, governance committee chairman is going to be Nate Manette, and the audit and finance committee chair is going to be Archie McKee. And I'd like to know what your interests are following on. If you look at those committees as they're outlined under number 5, pick 1 or 2, because in a lot of cases you can wind up on 2. So having done that, I think the next point, I just want to raise this with Jeremy. Jeremy, we may want to introduce our staff when you get to your report.
Yep.
Just introduce our staff and give them a general rundown as to what they do.
Yep.
And secondly, I think it would be good for our new members especially to note where we have outlying spots where we go, like in Tupper Lake and Saranac Lake and Malone, just because this is all going to change during this year, I'm sure.
Okay.
All right. Now, can I have a motion to accept the agenda?
We have to adjourn the annual meeting first.
I missed that. I think didn't we just have our annual meeting?
She's saying just adjourn the annual.
I'm sorry, misunderstood you, Maria. It's my fault. could we have a motion to adjourn the annual meeting of the IDA?
Archie,
Archie? Second?
Yep.
Second? Sherry? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay? The ayes have it. Now, we'll go on to the roll call for the regular meeting. Go ahead, Maria.
Okay, Sherry Boye,
Unmuting, sorry. Yes, present.
James Ellis,
Here?
Archie McKee,
Here.
Melissa Mills. Nate Manette is absent. Clyde Rabidou,
here.
Nick Russell,
Here.
also present Jeremy Evans, Maria Bourgeois, Paul Ellis, Kelly Brunette, Rachel Child, and Justice Martin.
Thank you, Maria. Now we'll move on to accept the agenda for our newest members. At each meeting of our three constituent groups, the IDA, the Economic Development Committee, and the CDC, Civic Development Committee, we will always open up with a question about, do we accept the agenda? Meaning that if there's things that hadn't get on there, or if you want to discuss at the meeting that's being held right now, that's the place to make the note. So could I have a motion to accept the agenda as is written, or any additions or deletions? Motion to accept the agenda?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by
Jerry.
Sherry. Sorry, I didn't hear that.
No, you're okay.
Okay, thank you. Second,
Melissa,
Melissa seconds. Discussion? There being none, we'll assume the question's been moved. All those in favor of accepting the agenda, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 3, for our newest members, we leave this open to public comment. If anybody comes to our meetings because of the notice, or any member of the public that wishes to be heard, or even some of our old members, this is where you can make comments generally with respect to any of the materials that we're going to be handling today, or other questions. There being none, we'll now move on to number 4, the approval of the previous meeting minutes of December 13 and December 21, 2023.
And Mr. Chairman, we're working on the, the IDA agenda or the economic development? or
IDA.
IDA, okay. Sorry.
The previous meeting minutes, did you make the motion, Archie? To accept?
I make the motion.
Okay, couldn't hear. I'm having trouble hearing with that thing over there. I don't know. Second to accept the minutes.
I'll second it.
Melissa,
Okay,
Can you-
second from Melissa. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please signify by saying nay.
Abstain.
You,
We're here.
okay.
is abstaining.
We have an abstention from Clyde because he wasn't
Okay.
present at the meeting.
And neither was I.
So we can't act on that then, because we need 4 to pass a resolution. Or to do a motion, we need 4. So we can't act on that.
We'll have to table it till the next meeting.
What are we doing here?
We have to table the minutes.
We need a table.
Oh, we gotta have a motion to table on.
Okay.
I can't.
Archie can.
Right. Archie, I guess can't, and Clyde can't, neither can Melissa.
She shouldn't have moved it.
No,
Yeah.
because I'm.
So,
Okay, motion to table. Motion to table, anyone? Motion by Clyde to table the motion, please. Second, can I have a second to table?
Second.
Second, Sherry Boye. All in favor of tabling the motion to accept the, or to approve the previous meeting minutes of December 13 and 21, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. The reason we repeat a lot of this stuff is because it's being videotaped.
Pardon me.
No, I just, so you know.
not gonna change in February. So I don't know how to get around that, but it's not gonna change.
I don't know.
Research.
I don't know if we have any committee reports extant or anybody wishes to make any. I'm assuming none, so we'll move on to number 6, the treasurer's report. Paul?
Nothing really, to report, other than the fact that, we're now at the year end. We, did a lot of, journalizing in preparation for the audit. We do have the audit scheduled for the first week in February. Can't really recall when we did it last year, but I think we're a little bit ahead of where we were last year.
Yes, we are.
I've had some communication with the auditor and journalizing some, unique things that we've had in regards to potential property sales and the property over in Tupper Lake. Just trying to make sure that we have as much cleaned up before the auditors come in. With this last round of checks that Maria cut, I'm now going to be switching the IDA is already online, QuickBooks Online. We're going to be making the final change over for the EDC. Getting a little bit ahead of myself, but that's about it.
Thanks, Paul. We have a motion to accept the treasurer's
Wait,
report.
Archie's got a question.
Oh, go ahead, Arch.
Who's going to be the auditor?
It's the same auditing firm that we've had for a number of years.
Crowley and Halloran.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
No,
Good. Therefore, can we have a motion to accept the treasurer's report?
I'll make a motion. Sherry.
Motion by Sherry, second.
second,
Second by Clyde here. Any discussion? There being none, we'll assume the question's been moved. All those in favor of adopting the treasurer's report as just given, please signify by saying aye.
aye, aye,
Those opposed say nay. Thank you. CEO report. Jeremy.
Jim, I'd like to defer it until the EDC when we talk about our goals and have
Sure.
be able to talk about our staff roles and things.
Very good. Very good. CEO report will be deferred until we get to the EDC annual meeting. Old business, any old business? There being none, we'll move on to new business. New business is indicated below under resolution 2024-01 to adopt a mission statement, to readopt the disposition of property policy, and to readopt our procurement policy. Therefore, could we have a motion to move resolution 2024-01? Motion?
make the motion, Archie.
Archie?
Archie, okay. Second?
Second,
Second by Clyde. Any discussion? You'll see in the backup material, you'll see each of those statements and disposition and procurement policy indicated in your packet. Are there any questions or any discussion?
yeah,
Go ahead.
I have a left-handed question. How about acquisition of property?
Okay.
Is that included in procurement?
No, we have an acquisition of property policy, but
Okay,
I don't believe it's required to be updated or readopted every year.
it's not required?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay,
Any other questions? If not, we'll assume resolution 2024-01, motion to accept is now moved, and I'll ask Sherry to do the roll call, or Maria, sorry. I get my beautiful women
Sherry
always.
Gray?
Yes.
James Ellis?
Yes,
Archie McKee?
yes,
Melissa Mills? Yes. Nate Manette is absent. Clyde Rabidou,
Yes.
Nick Russell.
Yes.
Resolution 2024-01 duly adopted.
Thank you, Maria. I'm not aware that there's any need for executive session, but if any question arises dealing with, and Jeremy, would you go ahead and repeat that for the new, for the sake of our new members?
Executive session.
Right.
So in accordance with New York State Open Meetings Law, there are certain, most of what we deliberate as a group needs to be done in open session. Under Meetings Law, there is the ability to go into executive session for certain specific items that where the protection of people or where there's a variety of reasons for it. And so from time to time, and we will be doing this in the EDC, there will be the opportunity to go into executive session. And when we do so, we need to have a motion and explain the reason for it. And then we can go into executive session.
For example, if we do personnel policy, we can't reveal the name of the person that we'll be discussing, but we can assume generally that we're going into executive session to discuss a personnel matter. So just so you know that, I think most of us are aware of our oath that we swore, that we swore an oath of confidentiality, which also means that nothing that we discuss in executive session can be discussed outside of our membership. No need for an executive session therefore, so we'll go on to public comment.
I have a question, I'm sorry. And this is to Jeremy. Jeremy, what is the appropriate entity that we represent? Which one is appropriate for addressing outstanding loans?
That's the EDC.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Any other public comments? There being none, we will adjourn this part of our meeting for the annual meeting or the regular meeting of the IDA. And our date of our next meeting will be February 14, 2024, which brings me to a question. February 14, 2024 is Ash Wednesday. Usually at that time, I'm pretty busy. But that doesn't mean that I can't be here. If I have to, I'm sure that Sherry's going to be able to carry on very well as she's done in the past in chairing that meeting. If not, I think it's germane to the discussion here. Is Wednesday a good day for everybody to meet? Would you membership prefer another day of the week?
Melissa will be out of town that day.
I'm sorry again?
Melissa will be out of town that day.
Okay. I think in our bylaws, we can move a meeting, can't we, Jeremy? How about
Yes.
if we go to the next day? Is that still a bad day for you, Melissa, the 15th?
It is. I'm out of town for the whole week. But so don't work it around me. I can do like through.
Why don't we check on the second Tuesday, the next following Tuesday?
We'll reach out to everybody and
Okay,
see what seems to work best.
good. Thank you, Jeremy.
You would
Very
still
good.
count as like, yeah.
Therefore, our meeting for the IDA portion is